Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you clicking on another video. My name is Nolan Freeland, and today I want to talk about the best investment that you can make in your early 20s, Bitcoin. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I don't necessarily think it's a bad investment, but that is not where I wanted to go with today's video. So in general, in my opinion, younger people like us in their 20s, they either have time or they have money when it comes to investing. And so if you're like me or you're younger, you're in your 20s, you're starting out, you're becoming, an adult and you're starting to learn about investing and retirements and stuff like that, you're getting into your first career, maybe getting out of college or whatever, then you probably have more time than you have money. Now, you've no doubt heard this before, but the answer to the question is, what's the best investment you can make in your 20s? Well, that is yourself. You need to be investing in yourself. And since you most likely have more time than you do money to invest, well, then you need to be investing that time into yourself. And now I know that that's a pretty common answer to the question, and you probably have heard that many times before, but I don't ever feel like it's explained or elaborated on. So I just want to go into how to think about what you should be doing to invest in yourself, or ways that you can go and take that and turn it into something where you end up having.
In 2003, professional boxer and heavyweight champion Mike Tyson filed for bankruptcy with $30 million in debt, despite accumulating over $300 million during the course of his career, which poses a great question about money itself. Because a great deal of our actions or our motivations in life have an underlying desire or need to acquire it. But what's the point in acquiring it if the great issue seems to be with our ability to manage it?
Americans now have the highest credit card debt in history. Translation: you didn't learn anything!
Debt is an invisible burden being carried by the country's most vulnerable.
What is money to you? Does it seem to enter your life and immediately leave once you have it? Has it ever placed you in a vulnerable position? A vulnerability that drew you closer to a get-rich-quick scheme or a guru telling you that you can get rich if you just bought their course? Does it really matter if you're earning more than 6 figures a year if by the end of that year you have nothing left to show for it? Where is the disconnect? It's time we solved that mystery. And not only that, but explore a better framework for understanding money. A framework common.
Hello my lovelies, I hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. Today, let's talk about money. I am not a financial professional or advisor. I'm like you. I'm a woman, professional. I had bad days with money, very good days with money, but I certainly learned a few things on the way that I'm still applying my personal finance every day and my businesses, and it really does help. Number one, that it applies to everyone in the world. It doesn't matter how much money you make, is to never spend more than you make. That's the rule number one. When you understand that, forget the credits, forget all this. If you make $500 per week, then you don't spend $600. It's easy rule. It's very simple. It's extremely hard to apply. I do understand that we are, especially this year, we live in a very difficult financial year for some of us. It doesn't matter how much money you make per day, per week.
You know, when you're young, like your early 20s, or maybe you're younger than that, 18, 19 years old, you're just viewed as a kid who doesn't know much about anything, especially when it comes to money. I mean, I definitely didn't know much about money at that age. All I really knew was that I needed to focus on getting a high-paying job so I wouldn't have to worry about money. Outside of that, I was pretty clueless. And the crazy thing is, we're not expected to know much about money at that age. Like, seriously. Your lack of knowledge and money at that age is considered to be a normal thing. But that's the age where we're about to start our own lives and get out on our own and step into the real world. I wish I knew what it truly meant to live paycheck to paycheck earlier in life. I didn't find out or hear about this phrase, paycheck to paycheck, until I was already over 20 years old. And by the time I heard the phrase, it was completely foreign to me. And it wasn't because I didn't know anybody who was in that situation, But it was because money was something that was not supposed to be talked about, like, period, growing up. Besides, I grew up seeing family and friends living seemingly comfortable lifestyles. I mean, I saw the new cars, I saw the clothes, I saw the TVs, I saw how everybody warped perception of reality that made it appear as if all adults had it together financially and actually knew what the heck they were doing. I was wrong. In fact,
not many people know what the rat race is or if they are a part of it. There's even less people who figured out how to escape the rat race. In this video, I'll go over what the rat race is and how to escape it. So what is the rat race? The rat race is a way of life in which people are caught up in a competitive struggle for wealth or power. Let's look at an example of someone who is in the rat race. This is Steve. As a child, he was very smart and got good grades. He gets accepted into a good college and graduates. He looks for a safe and secure job, just like every college student that graduated. Now that he is an adult, he finally has a lot of money to spend. He starts buying his college dreams. First, he buys a nice plasma TV. Then, he buys a functional car as he waits to buy the car of his dreams. At work, he works and grinds harder to get the promotion and a raise. With his new salary, Steve can afford to move to a nicer neighborhood, so he moves. The cycle then keeps repeating. Steve has a goal, works hard to achieve it, then moves on to a bigger goal. As Steve climbs the corporate ladder, his materialistic desires increase. Every year, expenses get higher and Steve has to work more hours to make more money. And so, Steve wakes up, works, then goes back home to clock out for 5 days a week, while wishing for the next weekend to come faster every year.